Alright guys, it's time for my June no-buy recap. Howdy, I'm Shannon and this is the Wanderluster, where each week we tackle topics that will help you live a more spark life so you can lead a life of adventure on your own terms. Alright, so if you've also been following along, you may know that in the month of June it was kind of a notable one because I actually donated a kidney, which was really exciting. So for about the entire month I spent a lot of time sleeping, and when I wasn't sleeping I seemed to be on Instagram, which we'll get into in a minute. This month's temptation list is kind of a doozy, let me be honest with you, it's kind of nuts. This is probably the longest list and probably up there in terms of biggest totals that I've had for the entire year thus far, and we're halfway through. So that all being said, let's get right into all of my temptations. Alright, so the first thing on my temptation list for the month of June was actually when I had to make a last minute Target run for my trip, and I actually saw this inflatable unicorn, which I really wanted. I don't even have a pool, but old me totally would have bought it, you know, just in case I need to float the river or I end up at some hot guy's house who happens to have a pool. You know, always be prepared. I actually have a donut inflatable already, so I don't know how I could have even justified this purchase, but old me totally would have because it was cute. That unicorn would have cost me $24, and that will be the first thing on my list. Alright, this next thing on my list is a shirt for an organization that is near and dear to my heart, and it is a shirt for the organization of Warrior's Heart. Warrior's Heart is a rehab and addiction recovery facility right outside of San Antonio, which specializes in helping first responders and veterans who are dealing with PTSD, which sometimes manifests itself, unfortunately, in drug and alcohol addiction. I think this is an absolutely astonishing organization, and I love to support them with my dollars. I would also love to support them by getting this t-shirt, but for right now, we'll have to keep it to charity only, and I will add this to my birthday list. So, Warrior's Heart, keep up the good work, expect a donation from me soon, and maybe someday I'll get your shirt. Alright, so this next item on my wish list won't surprise any of you, truly and sincerely, but it is actually some Capri Blue candles that I saw in a gift shop. My aunt and I were playing tourist quite a bit during my recovery because I needed to get out of bed and get out of the house and get moving in order to heal faster, and of course while we were out playing tourist in San Antonio, found this cute boutique that had these Capri Blue candles half off. They are so cute. They were glittered and wonderful, and they would have made amazing hostess gifts. Old me would have gotten at least $50 worth, like truly and sincerely, like why not? They make great gifts for people, and Christmas, we're about halfway there. These are timeless candles and they're always good, and they were quite a bargain, but this month unfortunately I'll have to save the 50 bucks. Alright, also while playing tourist I saw this adorable shirt at Adelante, which is a store here in San Antonio. Of course I absolutely wanted some new clothes to wear on dates or to go and enjoy the summer, but alas, this $44 gem of a piece should have ended up in my wardrobe, but because I'm doing no buy, it'll be a no-go for me. You may recall from another video, I did kind of complain that I didn't have any cute new clothes to wear on date nights, and I was a little bit conscientious about it. Fortunately for me, a good friend of mine that I met through Choosify stopped by to make me salad and keep me company during my recovery, and while this angel of a person was here, she had shopped her closet and came up with some wonderful items that she no longer needed but I could use for date nights. So I got to shop her closet a little bit. She has excellent taste, and I ended up with a whole bunch of free clothes. So you know, I didn't end up with this gorgeous $44 blouse, but thank you so much for Maria. You are a peach, and I am so grateful that I got to shop your closet because it doesn't even make this 44 bucks sting at all. You rock. Alright, so apparently I was the target of all the Instagram ads while I was holed up in bed for the entire month, because this Pura Vida ad I must have seen 1,000 times in my feed, and Pura Vida has these really cute, very summer applicable bracelets, and I love them, and these were on sale for $38.50, and I of course got retargeted for them 15 times. I actually have two Pura Vida bracelets already in my collection, a pink one and a blue one, which I do like to wear to the beach and to the pool because they hold up really well. That being said, I love this colorway. I loved how it looked, and the ad really stood out to me, but of course I can't buy it. So Pura Vida bracelets, even though they would have been cute for summer, end up on my wish list, and only on my wish list. It seems that for the month of June, I was also obsessed with hydration. Yes, I was obsessed with hydration because your girl just donated a kidney, and there have been a couple days where I have not felt so well and realized it's probably because even with as intentional as I'm trying to be, I am still not getting enough water. Of course, in Instagram's infinite knowledge, targeting me for this ad, I saw this giant 1.5 liter bottle, and this sucker retailed for $17.89, and it was black with a cute pink top, and I was like, yeah, that's what I need to get hydrated. But come to think about it, thank you, No by Year. I came to my senses when I realized I have plenty of water bottles, cute and otherwise, that will work sufficiently for my hydration. And instead of just getting a cool new gadget or some new bottle that's really cute, I just need to simply set reminders in my phone to pace myself with the water to ensure that I'm getting as much as I need, because I do need to up my water intake. So $17.89 saved, but man, was I tempted. Alright, so this one actually makes me really sad. The rest of the temptations, I'm always like pretty proud of myself that I've overcome, and I'm like, yeah, persevere. But this one literally is kind of heart-wrenching. And this is the Happy Rebel subscription box. Yes, I have given up many subscription boxes in my quest for minimalism, but I will say the Happy Rebel box is one of my absolute favorites, and I have been a subscriber since their first box. It is a minimalist glam type aesthetic, a lot of black, a lot of metallics, and I pretty much love everything that they freaking send out. There have been a couple misses, but overall, this is the only subscription box that really, gets my goat and gets me excited. And you can subscribe on a quarterly basis, or you could subscribe a year at a time, which I had been doing for the past 2 years. And unfortunately, my subscription's about to run out, and the summer box will be the last of my Happy Rebel boxes. So the subscription for the year costs you $380. I think it's absolutely worth it because I absolutely love what's in the box, and I've been so mindful about cutting back on my subscriptions. But yeah, $380. Now that my subscription's out, I can't renew it because I didn't, cheat and just renew it for the whole year or whatever. I let the old one run its course, and unfortunately, unless somebody gives me a one-time subscription or I get a sugar daddy or something, your girl's not getting Happy Rebel anymore, and it makes me a very sad rebel indeed. Very, very sad. Alright, so that being said about subscription boxes and how good I've been, unfortunately, I succumbed to Instagram marketing for the 800th time in this list. Yeah, so I got targeted for the FabFitFun box, which was on sale for $39.99, and I must have seen the same ad no less than 40 times during my recovery this month. And yeah, I don't really want subscription boxes, but it looked so fun and exciting and happy and colorful and summery. And you know what? Sometimes I'll be honest, other than Happy Rebel, which I know is always a good one, sometimes I like to be surprised, and this box looked pretty great, but I just know historically some of these other boxes, there have been just as many misses as there have been hits for this type of subscription box. And so $39.99 is what I saved this month by avoiding temptation, and I lived to see another day. Alright, and yet again, with both unicorns and really smart Instagram targeting, this month I discovered a new product which was called Unicorn Snot. Yes, Unicorn Snot. It is eco-friendly with biodegradable glitter. It is sunscreen that sparkles. Yes, yes, yes. And you could see why your girl wants it. For $19.99, you too can look like you got sneezed on by a unicorn and also avoid getting a nasty sunburn. So I was all about that. But unfortunately, not only with No Buy, but I do have a full container of SPF 50 spray-on that I need to use up before it expires and the season ends. So I absolutely couldn't justify this purchase. But fortunately for me, Unicorn Snot will probably be around next summer as well, and I will be able to bask in all of its eco-friendly glittery goodness for another season. But for now, I get to use the old boring kind and use it up. Alright, so this next one's kind of like, right? Is anyone really surprised? It's another candle. Yeah, it's always candles. Isn't it candle? Candles end up on every single one of my monthly recaps. I don't know why, but they do. So of course, while I was out shopping with a friend, just trying to get out of the house, get my steps in, we stumbled upon this very masculine, manly candle. It is from the brand Old Man McKittrick's, I think I said that right, and it was a brand called Close the Blinds, or Draw the Blinds, and oh my god, it smells like man in a glass. It's so good. And I know that sounds really gross, and I'm such a girly girl, but maybe it's because I need a boyfriend, I don't know. But this was a sexy candle. It smelled so good. $42 for a candle is pretty steep, but I was whoo, catching the vapors smelling this thing. So it definitely made me take note, and if I ever get the chance to get my hands on one of these wickedly delicious little candles, Even though it's very manly and I'm a girly girl, I would absolutely do it. So 42 bucks saved and I am down a candle. All right, so the final thing on my list for the final thing on my temptations list for the month of June is a product from the wonderful company Swirl and Sparkle. Swirl and Sparkle is actually founded by a friend of mine back in Chicago, and it is a product that helps you cleanse your brushes. All of the Swirl and Sparkle products are absolutely gorgeous and custom and fun, and they are really easy to make sure your brushes are both hygienically cleaned and also conditioned for future use. But I still have some of my Swirl and Sparkle product in my bathroom right here, so I can't justify a product, but take a look at how gorgeous these freaking products are. A rainbow glittery for Pride Month product. I would have been all over that had I not been on the shopping ban, and that would have cost me $19.99. Of course, it's a double whammy to support Pride Month and my friend who runs her own business because she is stellar, but man, I don't think this will be around by the time I run through my other cleanser, but Pride-loving glitter makeup cleanser. My brushes would be so pretty after I washed with these, but alas, maybe another time. Alright guys, that was a bit of a doozy. I can't believe I almost spent all of that money. It was a huge list for the month of June. Are you as shocked as I was? But I don't think you'll be nearly as shocked as you're about to be, because I saved for the month of June $703 and 36 freaking cents. $703.36. That is up there. That is really up there in terms of items on my list and also cost. I think one of my other months was around 700-ish. But it was because there was a handgun I wanted to buy, which if you haven't seen that video, I will link to it below. But yeah, there was one point I wanted to buy a Glock 19, but that's another story for another day. But these were all like little, other than like the Happy Rebel box, which was $380, this was a lot of little stuff that added up really fast. And had I gone unchecked during my month of recovery, your girl probably would have been a little bit bored, a little bit lonely, a little bit tired, and her willpower would have been lessened. And while I was recovering from kidney donation surgery, I probably would have spent all 703 of those dollars. So, cha-ching, June was a really good month. Alright, since my June temptations was such a lengthy list, we're gonna just get straight into what I learned for the month of June. And that was this. Overarchingly, I have learned that the more downtime you have, whether intentional or unintentional, meaning whether you're just bored or you're recovering from a major life event, the more downtime you have, the more time you have to think about the stuff you want to buy. I cannot believe how long this list was. It kind of took me for a spin, really. I was kind of surprised that even though I've made such strides and I'm at the halfway point of my no-buy year, all of a sudden, man, I had a real doozy of a month, and I think, it was directly connected to the fact that I had a lot of downtime to spend on Instagram and get targeted for ads, for the Facebook algorithms to learn my behavior and tell me about all the unicorn sunscreen I needed to buy. And if I didn't have the confines of my no-buy year, I probably would have spent that $700. So a lot of lessons learned that if you know you're about to go into a slow period of life, maybe you're off for a week or you're going on vacation, or maybe you just have like a change in life circumstances, maybe your kids leave home or something happens, just be aware that a major life change could mean that you're spending a lot more time spending. I also learned that donating a kidney is the most amazing, wonderful thing, and I'm so glad I did it. And I'm just so happy to share that on the other side of this long journey that, my recipient is doing well, his family is doing well, and I have just been so renewed and humbled and impressed and just blown away by all the gratitude and generosity people have shared with me. The fact that so many people contributed to the GoFundMe in order to pay for many of the things that are not covered by insurance for this to happen. And also the cards, the gifts, the flowers, the calls, the Instagram posts, all the stuff and all the support that I got. It's really hard to put into words how special it was. And I also am so glad to share that I actually got some time with my recipient and his family and friends the week after we donated. We were actually both staying in Airbnbs about 5 minutes apart driving, and we got to walk on the beach and spend time together. And I have to say, it's the weirdest feeling ever that you feel like you've met family you never knew, but they're really great people. And I didn't know that going into donating my kidney, but again, it just proves the the rule that like people are way better than things. And so even though I'm doing a no buy year, I have been able to cultivate some of the greatest people and memories in my life, and it had very little, if anything, to do with stuff. So there you have it. I will say that my recipients' family were super generous and got me some of the things off of my no buy list, some of my previous temptations, which I was just astounded. I got a beautiful necklace that was on my list from, I'm forgetting which month, and also a Don't Tread on Me uterus pin, among other of my favorite things to help with the recovery. And I was just absolutely blown away by everyone's generosity of spirit, and it made recovery that much better. So lessons learned for June: if you've ever considered donating a kidney or donating blood or volunteering or whatever it is for you, maybe look into it, because really, truly, I know this sounds kind of cheesy, but I feel like I got way more than I gave in this, and I'm just super grateful and super lucky and super happy that we're recording this June recap and I have such positive things to say. So there you go. All right, and to put the final layer of bread on this June recap sandwich and top it off, we are going to discuss some of the notable purchases I had for June. And one of the big notable purchases was the fact that I finally booked my flight to FinCon, which is really exciting. It's the Financial Bloggers Conference that I go to every year. And I also am about to book my plane tickets to Camp FI in Southern California at Joshua Tree. Those are going to be happening in September and October. And just, leaning in kind of in the array of learnings that I had for the month is that I am so excited that we're halfway through this no buy year, but I'm finally putting social things back on my calendar and picking up a cadence, because the return to normalcy, really, because, donating a kidney was awesome and life-changing and great, but it took up a lot of heart space, a lot of head space, a lot of energy, and it just really, was very much a focus for the first half of the year, and absolutely worth every blood, sweat, tear, and everything else. But now that I'm getting to put some travel back on the calendar, my health is slowly recovering. I'm starting to coordinate some events for some local meetup groups that I do and have social outings that way. Like, I feel that life is returning to its normal cadence, and even though I do tire still easily from my post-kidney donation life, and I'm still not at 100%, it really feels good to be able to make purchases travel-wise to get those on the calendar, because I haven't planned any travel for this entire year, which is unlike me, and it just feels really good. So buying plane tickets, big notable purchases, but absolutely worth it. All right, and some of the other notable purchases were actually for my aunts. So while my aunt was here, she was my caretaker during the month of June. She was with me in Jacksonville for my surgery, and then flew back with me from Jacksonville to San Antonio to be my caretaker in chief. And while we were out and about trying to get my steps in and work on my recovery, sometimes we would spot something, and it just meant so much that if she saw something really cute as a collectible or something that she could take home to enjoy herself or to share with the rest of my family back home, like, I really loved indulging her and treating her. It's not like I spent a ton of money. I think I got her like a little fork knife set from Mud Pie at a gift shop, and I got her some gorgeous bedazzled sandals and I think maybe some other little things, and we got massages together. But spending time with her is something I will always cherish, and getting to treat her was so special. So even though I did technically buy stuff and it wasn't for me, I got more reward out of getting things for her and be like, no, I got this. Like, this is for you. Let me treat you a little bit because you've worked so hard. Like, that was pretty good. So just a learning for the future, if you're ever doing a no buy year, and make sure you keep gifts in, if it speaks to you, of course. Keep gifts in your rotation as part of your exceptions to your rules, because I got so much joy out of finding sandals that made her feel fabulous than I did getting them for myself, and it was worth every penny, and I'm just so grateful that I had the room in my budget to be able to treat her to something she so wholeheartedly deserved. So a little bit of a notable purchase and a little bit of a learning for June. Alright guys, I feel like this video has already gone on probably long enough, and this is actually my third time trying to record this stinking video. I don't know, maybe it just really makes me work for it this month, but I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I cannot believe this no buy year is already halfway done. Thank you to all of you who have left comments, thoughts, ideas, and a little bit of the stories of your no buy experiments that you've been undertaking. It absolutely means the world to me to hear from you and know that I read every single comment. So thank you so much for being a part of this community and sharing what gets you sparked, because I can tell you from what I've seen, it is inspiring others as well. Alright guys, so that does it for this video. Until next time, stay beautiful, stay sparked, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.